Just close your eyes. Know the peace within. The greatest, indescribable truth is within you just now. You contain it just now. You cannot miss it. The truth is ever here, ever present. You are yet to realize it. You are yet to know that you need to realize the ever-present ultimate truth within you. You contain it just now. But you are yet to realize it. Why you are unable to realize in spite of being that? Because you accept the duality level happenings, the manifested world, cosmos, whatever it is, objects within space here to be real. So you don't find any need to know the reality within you because you accept the manifested objects to be real, to be the truth. You know only what is happening, what is manifested, what is functioning within this duality. Duality means within space here, which appears and disappears constantly. You give preference to the duality level happenings, functionings, and every movements within duality. Because you accept unknowingly all these manifested functioning to be more real, as you are yet to know the reality which is prior to the duality. Till you come across or realized there's no possibility for you to turn in and to transcend the duality and to explore the ultimate, the reality which is ever present here within you. So meeting a realized, listening to a realized is a turning point to realize your supreme reality. Only a realized says that there is no reality here within duality, and you are already the ultimate reality and you are prior to the duality. It is not a theory. These words just indicate that there is a ultimate truth within you which is prior to this duality, and there's no truth within duality. This you must practically know. How? With eyes open, you are continuously deceived by the manifested objects, by the movement of the created objects within space. To be real, to be real, to be real. How will you know that there is a state prior to this manifested object, prior to the manifested world, prior to this manifested duality itself? How will you know without transcending the duality? And how will you transcend the duality? With eyes open. With eyes open, you are continuously trapped by whatever that is appearing, moving, and functioning. You have no chance to know or to realize your supreme reality unless you close your eyes and transcend the duality, unless you close your eyes and stay beyond words, unless you close your eyes and observe silently without words. There's no possibility for you to know that there is a state which is ever present, which is indescribable, which is unchanging, which is unmoving, within just now. I indicate the absolute truth within you just now. Are you ready to realize? Just now. Once you are with me, you can't miss to realize your supreme reality, because you are listening to the words coming straight from the source. All these words are only to take you beyond words, to indicate the absolute, unchanging, unmoving, indescribable truth within you just now. Why not you pay attention on yourself? Why not you be with yourself? Why not you abide in this stillness as you are now, constantly throughout the waking state, which is preventing you? When your intention is to realize yourself, spontaneously you know the stillness within, the peacefulness within. Now you know the state prior to words. You know the state prior to object. You know the unmoving, unchanging stillness within. This stillness is prior to duality, and the duality begins here. This stillness is not moving, but the duality begins here. The movement begins here. The object begins here. The manifestation begins here. So I am taking you to the point from where the duality begins outwardly and where the non-duality is there inwardly. So this stillness is the key within, through which you can explore the absolute reality about yourself. By stabilizing inwardly, without knowing the stillness within, you are continuously trapped by the manifested events, manifested objects, movements, and you go on talk, describe, and you fail to know the stillness within. Without stillness, you cannot know what you are. So you accept the duality to be real because you are unable to settle inwardly. That's why I am saying, when your intention is to realize yourself, that too after meeting a realize, you have got more chances to realize yourself. You cannot miss yourself once you are with me. What for I am here? Only to wake up your consciousness within, which is unknowingly trapped by the duality events, by the duality objects, by the duality show. Because your consciousness is yet to know that it is within. Your consciousness is beyond object, beyond words, beyond movement, beyond space. To know that state only, you are made to close your eyes here, just now. Your consciousness begins here. Why not you settle here to realize your supreme reality? The reality is prior to duality. Non-dual is the only absolute truth, and you are already that. But you never stabilize. You never go inward. But you want to realize. Realizing what? What is here to realize when everything is constantly changing, constantly moving, constantly appearing and disappearing? What is constant here in duality? Still you accept the duality to be real, unknowingly. You find so difficult to abide in stillness, to settle in stillness, and to know the non-dual truth in you, which you are already. It is such a simple thing. You are complicating it because you don't want to know yourself. You don't want to realize yourself. You want to have only knowledge about it. You don't want to have direct knowing about it. And your intention is only to realize. Just now you can realize. Because you are already that. All my teachings are only to wake up your consciousness, which is continuously, constantly trapped by the dreamy duality show. Now I am waking up your consciousness within. So you need to stabilize within. Otherwise, realization is not possible, wakefulness is not possible. You do not know why you are here. You simply follow certain things, not knowing why you are here, what for you are here, and what is all these things that is happening around you, and which is constantly appearing and disappearing. Nothing is stationary here except your I amness. Even your I amness is known only for a shorter duration, right from the beginning of the waking state till sleep happens. After that, you do not know where you are. You do not know what happened to you. You completely, totally remain ignorant about your presence during sleep. That's why it is called sleep. But you sleep even in the waking state without knowing what you are. You are continuously deceived, continuously trapped by the unreal, dreamy duality show. Then how will you wake up? How will you realize? First, know that you are conscious at present. You are none of the identifications imposed on you unknowingly. All those identifications are only an utility within duality for communication purpose. They are not you. Your true nature, your original nature cannot be described through words. It cannot be labeled by any words. You are beyond words. How can any word confine you? You are infinite. You are beginningless and endless. But you are confining yourself to be a tiny form with certain labels, with certain identifications. And you go on, continue the same mundane things without being conscious of yourself. You never know that you are consciousness at present. Then how will you wake up? How will you realize? My emphasis is only about the consciousness within you, because I am talking only to the consciousness within you. Your consciousness is within. You know that you are at present only because of consciousness within. Unless you stabilize within, unless you settle within, beyond words, there's no possibility for you to realize what you are. So knowing your supreme reality is by staying beyond words. Words cannot explore. You cannot explore the truth through words. Words are of no use to realize your supreme reality. It is beyond words. Here in duality, you come to realize, you come to know that you are. Though you are the non-dual supreme, your presence is known only at the duality level through a tiny form. But unknowingly, your consciousness accepts the form itself to be the truth, to be real. Because it is yet to know that it is within. Know this point deeply, then very easily your consciousness can wake up. Your consciousness is knowing its presence only at the duality level as I amness through a form. But it is prior to form, prior to space, prior to duality. But it comes to know its presence only through a dual form. But your consciousness never knows that it is within. At the surface level, it accepts itself to be the fixed form with fixed labels. So it does not have any chance to go inward and to realize what it is, as long as it is stuck at the surface level duality show. When your listening is total, very easily your consciousness can wake up. I am giving you all the tips, all the clues necessary for your consciousness to realize itself. Here there is nothing other than your consciousness. Your consciousness is infinite. Only in your consciousness, which is infinite, every object is manifested spontaneously by the interaction of the elements at an unexplainable speed. Just now, you are not doing anything here, you are only observing. This too you will find difficult to accept because you are yet to be conscious of yourself. That's why I say my teaching is exclusively to the consciousness within. There are no persons here, first of all. What do you call as a person? You call some form as a person. Can the form exist without consciousness? The form is manifested just now by consciousness within. Every form is made out of light within. Light is consciousness. You are yet to go within, you are yet to dive deep within to know what you are and how all these things are manifested in no time within space and how everything is constantly changing. You never focus attention on yourself. Then how will you realize? You want to gather knowledge so that you can debate and discuss about. You are not interested in knowing. That's why it is very difficult to realize. The more and more you observe silently, you come to know that you are prior to knowledge. You are beyond knowledge. Knowledge is not you. But you want to go on, accumulate knowledge. Even about self-realization, you want to accumulate knowledge. Unless you stay beyond knowledge, there's no possibility for you to realize. There's no possibility for you to wake up. Truth is beyond words. What word is needed to realize yourself? When are you going to know? When are you going to realize what you are? Why I am expounding this knowledge to you? Because I know what you are exactly, but you are yet to realize what you are exactly. All these teachings are only to make you realize that you are prior to this duality show. You are prior to birth and death. You are prior to the form level show. You are prior to the words. You are prior to space. You are prior to time. You are prior to the entire manifestation itself. Your true nature, your original nature cannot be described. It is totally indescribable. And you are already total, already complete and already perfect at the non-dual level. How will you know? Unless you know the non-dual within you, how will you know that you are already total, complete and perfect? Because you are continuously trapped by the perceived duality show. Then how will you know about your non-dual reality? All these talks are straight from the non-dual source. Why? To wake up your consciousness, which is unknowingly trapped by the duality level show. This is a very rare opportunity for you to listen, to abide in stillness and get to know your truth absolutely. That's why this teaching. I am taking you beyond words. Why not you settle here? Why not you be with yourself? Being with yourself means yourself is beyond words. Just now, when you are not using words and knowing the peace within, you are with yourself. You have to be with yourself constantly inwardly. Then there is a possibility for your consciousness to wake up and realize its ultimate potential beyond birth and death, beyond duality. Your consciousness realizes its eternity only by stabilizing inwardly. Listen to these teachings deeply. Each and every word is only to wake up your consciousness, which is in deep sleep at the duality level. But you are non-dual. Then how will you know your non-dual reality when you are already stuck at the duality level? Listen to these teachings deeply. It might help you and it might wake up your consciousness at any moment. Because these teachings are straight from the source. Your nature is non-dual. You are only observing the duality show. Then why do you get trapped by the duality show? Because you are yet to know the non-dual reality within you, which is beyond moment, beyond duality, beyond space, beyond words, beyond movement, beyond time. Just now you are that. And you are like this throughout. You can't miss it. At least now, know that non-dual state is your original reality, and whatever perceived within space at the duality level is only a changing show, a movie, a show, where there's no reality. Because, first of all, you do not know what is reality. Real cannot change itself. Real is stationary, unchanging, and unmoving. Tell me what is real here, which is not changing, which is not moving, as each and every object is manifested spontaneously just now by the greatest interaction of the elements at the highest speed in no time. Here nothing is stationary. Everything is constantly changing. You may appear to be a fixed shape outwardly, but inwardly so many metabolic activities are going on. Each and every cell is appearing and disappearing at a greatest speed, unexplainable speed, including your breathing, including your heartbeat. Everything is constantly changing at an unexplainable speed. Because you are not aware of the reality prior to duality, you accept the duality to be real. Now I am introducing the non-dual truth within you. I am introducing the absolute truth within you. Because I know what you are, and you are yet to realize what you are. What is real? Can you define reality? Reality cannot be described. Only to make you understand, I am using all these words. Real is unchanging. It cannot change itself. Real is unmoving. Real is unchanging, unmoving, and ever present. And you are that. But you are yet to realize. Because you never value yourself, neither you love yourself, then how will you realize what you are? How will you realize? Still you find difficult to know that you are only observing the duality show and you are prior to the duality show, because you are stuck at the form level duality show. You are yet to know your state prior to form, and your consciousness is prior to form. That's why you are made to close your eyes now. Now you don't see any object within. You are prior to object. In your consciousness, not only your form appears with eyes open, all forms appear, all objects appear, whether living or non-living, simultaneously in no time, in your consciousness. It's a magical show. It's a magical dreamy show. You find difficult to accept it. That's why many remain silent. And these talks are exclusively to the consciousness which is in need of realizing itself totally. At least now, know that you are only observing the duality show within space, and here within duality, everything is constantly appearing, moving, functioning, and disappearing without your permission. You only observe. You have no control except observe. Here, know that in duality, everything is constantly appearing, moving, functioning, and disappearing spontaneously. And who observes the duality show other than you? It is only you who observes the entire duality show right from the waking state till sleep happens. And you, the observer, are prior to the duality show which you are yet to realize. And without closing eyes and without knowing the peace within, without knowing the stillness within, without knowing the unmoving, unchanging reality within, how will you know that there is a state prior to this perceived duality show? To know that only you are made to close your eyes now. Now you are the non-dual observer, observing the stillness within, and entire manifested space and space level objects are within space, but the observer is prior to space. The more and more you know the stillness within, more and more your consciousness wakes up. Your consciousness is within and it needs to wake up totally because it is still trapped by the perceived duality show. Your consciousness is within already and it is never separate from the source. But why it is unable to realize its supreme source, though it is already one with the source? Your consciousness never knows that it is never separate from the source because it is continuously trapped by the duality show, constantly trapped by the form level show. It is continuously and constantly, consistently trapped by the object level show. At least now, listen my teachings so that there is a possibility for your consciousness to stabilize inwardly and to wake up spontaneously. You are the constant observer prior to the duality just now. Now you observe the stillness within, even the sound that is happening around you. You are only observing constantly. You are the eternal observer. You are the absolute observer. You are the ultimate observer. Here there is nobody other than yourself. You take yourself to be a form, so you find difficult to accept these teachings. I tell you that your consciousness at present and make you aware of the stillness within. At least now, wake up consciously and know that you only observe everything that is appearing, moving, functioning within space. It is such a simple thing that you are already the truth and you are only observing the duality show. But you are trapped by the duality show once the waking state happens, once you come to know that you are. Only by morning 5 or so you come to know that you are. Same moment you are finished with the duality show, you never stabilize inwardly and observe the show. Observe the waking state. You never know to observe silently. So you are immediately trapped by the duality show. At least now observe the show, observe the stillness within. The more you observe the stillness within, very easily your consciousness wakes up from the duality show and comes to realize that the duality show is not real. Know to observe silently. Without knowing to observe silently, how will you wake up? How will you know what you are? Again, you are trapped by the duality show. So constantly and consistently, you are trapped by the duality show. You want to stabilize in this duality show and want to realize the truth. How is it possible? Dream happens. You only observe. Even when the dream do not happen, you only observe. You observe the sleep also, which you are yet to know. You are the constant observer, observing the sleep, observing the dream, observing the waking state. You are prior to space level activities. You are prior to all movements. You are prior to all objects that happen and disappear. You are not the happening. You neither appear nor disappear. You are ever present here at the non-dual level. But you are constantly holding the duality to be real, to be yourself. Then how will you wake up? But you want to realize also. Is it possible? By holding on to the untruth to be real, and you want to realize it yourself. Without stabilizing inwardly, without transcending the duality, how will you realize? This is my question. And you are already that. There's only one way to know that you are already that and nothing has never happened to you. That is to hold on to the non-dual level constantly and observe the duality show silently. At least now, know the stillness within and observe the changing dreamy duality show, changing dreamy manifested show at the duality level silently. Very easily your consciousness wakes up and realizes its ultimate potential beyond birth and death, its ultimate potential that it is eternally ever here. I am here only to wake up your consciousness, to realize its non-dual eternity beyond duality. Trust me, I am here always. Be with me beyond words and know the non-dual, unchanging, unmoving, ever-present truth that you are already that.